You can have it all. Great pay, awesome benefits, a flexible schedule, the chance to grow. At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel technicians to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. If you're ready for a new job and want to experience an award-winning workplace, drive your career forward with us. Visit cox.career/autotech to learn more. That's cox.career/autotech.
Unknown submarine contact in the vital area. Away the Nixie team away. Away the Nixie team away. Set general quarters. Set general quarters. General quarters, on hand, leave out station. General quarters, on hand, leave out station.
Tonight, Clint and BZ are going to tear through the gristle of today's screaming headlines and rip out the sinewy tendons of truth ensconced within right here on the Sackheads Against Tyranny show, a real Shat show, all from the hoary streets of Shatramento, Fornicalia, exposing the trembling toadies, sniveling jackanapes, and fripperous fopdoodles. Infesting altogether too much of this great nation of ours, please feel free to partake of our chat room at shrmedia.com. Featuring the effervescent Contrarian Sackheads Clint plus the unrestrained Bulbariousness. That's right, I remembered.
You remembered.
From the Zepmeister, doubling your late-night conservative talk show pleasure with double host. Some contents may have settled during shipping. Member FDIC, batteries not included. Terra Cross dotted line. Hell in Mexico, patent pending. Warranty void in Montenegro. Tonight, Clint and BZ will talk about a veritable gaggle. No, shrewdness, a murmuration, an obstinacy, a war and a pandemonium, a gaggle, a muster, a murder, a covey, an unkindness, a maelstrom, a nod, a shiver, an intrusion, a smack, a hive, a prickle, a kaleidoscope, yea, a veritable cauldron of topics. Yonder across from me is Sackheads Clint, and I'll be your server, an obese, somnambulistic reprobate for tonight.
Insomniac.
Sorry. Thank you. We don't take American Express or personal checks. Remember, this is only an exhibition, not a competition, so please...
No wagering.
There we go. That is Sackhead Clint over there. One each. I am the Bulbarious one. One each.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually remembered that from last week.
You did?
Yes. I know. And our chat room is packed. I've saved some room for a few people. We have Alaskan in there right now, so you're going to have to... Alaskan gets on the couch, and he puts his feet up on the sofa, and then he overfeeds the fish in the fish tank. And so when you come into the chat room, you might have to, push his... He's got his feet on the table right now. And right now I should mention that... he's wearing cowboy boots because the Alaskan...
But that's it.
Well...
But that's it. You can't see because of the arm of the couch. Thank God, because this show is...
Customarily, he wears Korean sewer boots in Alaska. But because right now he's visiting friends in Tejas, he's in the chat room, and he's wearing cowboy boots. So if you get into the chat room, folks, just kind of push him aside. He will move over. He may find that, if you get my drift, the leather on the sofa, if you're not wearing clothes, tends to be a little sticky. So
yeah, but that's not because of the heat or humidity. That's just because of prior use.
Well, that could be. It's Me is there, as well as MJP.
It's me.
It's me.
No, it's not. It's me.
No, it says it's me.
No, it's me.
Mike.
Because I'm the one
the
typing.
Alaskan. It's me.
No, it's not. It's you. It's me.
No, I'm over here. I'm the Bulbarious one.
Yeah.
Is it Bulbalicious or is it Bulbarious? Or it was originally Bulbous.
Bulbarious.
Bulbarious
is what it is. Yes.
Okay. I'll have to change it. Producer, make a note of that. please?
Bulbarious.
Bulbarious.
Bulbarious. Yeah.
Okay. You don't really have any Clint stories for tonight.
Not a long one.
Oh, you do have a Clint story.
Not a long. No, it's not. It's just. It's more cute. Yeah, I think it's cute. Liberals are going to hate it, but I think it's cute.
Okay. Right.
It's cute when your 6-year-old is walking in public and starts singing, "Keep your finger off the trigger till your sights are on the target," and then people.
In public school?
Yeah, and just in public. In public, I didn't say in public school. No, in public.
Already, this is funny. Already, this is great.
That's all I'm saying, and just the looks of people in California as you're walking along through stores and whatnot, just kind of looking.
In the meantime, you're patting him, encouraging him. Good,
yeah,
way to go.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good.
It's too bad the NRA doesn't have a theme song that you can kind of hum, or there are words to it, something like that.
Yeah.
I had Joe Wamba on the show last night.
Yeah. Were you surprised that I knew who that was? Because a lot of his stuff took place.
Okay. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, I was surprised because, folks, let's just tell the truth.
Generation gap.
You're younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm an old, fat ex-cop, retired in 2016, got 41 years on. So he started writing in the
mid-60s,
his first book, he got on LAPD. Actually, The New Centurions, his very first book, is essentially about him. He's not a character. He's sort of a coagulation of a lot of the characters that are in there. Went through the academy, learned all of these things, and then he ended up being placed smack in the middle of the riots in the early 60s. And then, so it's a great indicator of a little bit of a background, and it got you into his character-driven stories. The New Centurions was published in 71.
Are you sure?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Because he wrote 3 books.
When was Choir Boys published?
Well, first... Oh, you're going to make me look now.
I'll look.
Okay. Anyway, his first 3 books were The New Centurions, The Blue Knight. This is by rote. I think the third one...
The movie was 1972.
Right, but the book came out, obviously,
so before
the movie. 71, I think, is when it was published. He wrote it in 70. Is what he said. Anyway, he got hired on LAPD in 1960. He retired.
You can have it all. Great pay, awesome benefits, a flexible schedule, the chance to grow. At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel technicians to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. If you're ready for a new job and want to experience an award-winning workplace, drive your career forward with us. Visit cox.career/autotech to learn more. That's cox.career/autotech.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
In 1974. What I discovered after speaking to him afterwards is that he basically decided that he became a detective sergeant. And all the circumstances of him being a famous author essentially made him ineffective in cop work anymore. What he found is that people would come into the station, ask for Sergeant Wambaugh, and want him to solve the case. And then they made up a lot of specious cases. Some of the officers that were there, he was getting, he was hella flash at the time. He was starting to get into movies. He was being published like crazy. His books took off. And so it just made it really, really tough for him to operate in a cop environment. And then he had the ability to, he left LAPD in 1974, became a full-time writer. So I think he said he had 3 books to his credit before, as he was writing when he was a cop. And then everything else after 1974, he just based on, boy, I sure hope my books sell. Mm-hmm. And then he got some, he had some series made, some other, what did they make? They made The Blue Knight with, who was the guy in The Blue Knight? William Holden. That's right. And I asked him what he thought the best and the worst translations of his books were. He said the worst was The Choir Boys. He said it embarrassed him. He was in a movie theater in Pasadena. The movie stopped, lights came up, and he said he was embarrassed. And he came up, and there were a bunch of cops at the back of the movie.
Because of the movie version, not the book.
No.
I was going to say the book was great.
Oh, no. He was embarrassed about what they had done to his material.
Got it.
And a lot of the guys were looking at him, and he thought, I wish that basically I could just shrink away. It made me so incredibly embarrassed. The best ones, he said, that he had involved in, or that he thought were translated the best, were the ones that he finally had the fiscal ability to get in and produce, co-produce, and have, because he had the cash then, mm-hmm. to make sure that they kept as close to his novel as they could. He said Police Story was really good until he was no longer one of the producers. I didn't know that was true. I thought he produced all along the way, but apparently not. And he liked the Glitter Dome. HBO did the Glitter Dome. 84? Something around. Who was in the Glitter Dome? James Garner was in the Glitter Dome. And, God, my memory, I can't believe I remember this. John Lithgow.
Oh.
And James Garner were in the Glitter Dome. And he said, I like that. That did very well. Do you remember that they made a movie of the Onion Field?
I do. That I do remember. And that, by the way...
do you remember that James Woods was in that?
I do. That was a great movie. That was an even better book. Not that that's surprising.
It was an incredible book.
And what unless you realize that that's a true story...
Oh, I can remember the big thing for a while was discussed. Two bad guys essentially kidnapped a couple of cops.
Yeah.
Took them out to an onion field, and they were just going to summarily execute them. Mm-hmm. One bad guy had the draw, so to speak, on his partner, Carl Hettinger, who survived the incident, gave up his gun to the bad guy. One of the bad guys summarily executed his partner, and Carl Hettinger took leg bail. Mm-hmm.
In an onion field in Bakersfield.
In an onion field in Bakersfield.
And these were L.A. cops.
Yep.
They were LAPD cops. Ian...
you're right.
What was his name?
McDonald?
I'd have to look it up. Ian was one of their names. And yeah, so they were detectives, and they came. I don't remember if they were up like on a suspicious vehicle. I don't remember the circumstances. It's been a long time since I've read the book. And yeah, they were taken hostage.
Yep.
And the partner was taken hostage, and give us your gun or we're going to kill him. And he gave up his gun. They were taken in the back of a vehicle. They were driven from Los Angeles to Bakersfield, out into the middle of nowhere into an onion field, and where they were going to be executed. Yeah, just so it's a true story, which is terrible in and of itself, but the way that it's written and the way that Joseph Wambaugh presents it was very, very, very well done. And it was done in a way that is going to entertain, for lack of a better word, right? It's going to keep the interest of the reader, but it also didn't dishonor the officers involved, if that makes sense. It didn't cheapen what they went through for the sake of selling books. Does that make sense?
I think what you're trying to say is it respected them and the situation.
It did, yeah. 100%. It's not like they didn't go out to glorify. They didn't glorify the cops. They didn't glorify the bad guys. I don't think he did. He told a story, and the manner in which he told this story was very well done, and I think it translated very well to the reader.
I found it very interesting. He focused on Carl. Well, let me go back a little bit. The big deal, the big takeaway at the time for Coptum was, do you give away your firearm when someone has another officer held hostage or a gun to their head? You know, you saw that, for example, on the first movie, 48 Hours, where Nick Nolte ended up giving up his gun.
You know what? Even before that, in the 1800s, in Blazing Saddles.
Right. We were talking about that earlier. Funny you should mention that. Son of a bitch. Anyway, the whole thing was, and I can remember for a time not knowing him, but just hearing about the circumstances, a lot of cops said, some said, yeah, in that situation I'd have to. A bunch of cops said, no, that Carl Hettinger was a punk. He was a pussy. He was limp-wristed. You never give up your gun to a bad guy. I mean, Coptum in the 70s, around the onion field, man, they came down heavy, big time on Carl Hettinger. And essentially the rest of the book was, as Wambaugh said, he said, this was the first book where I displayed, because no one had a name or a phrase for it back then, the
You can have it all. Great pay, awesome benefits, a flexible schedule, the chance to grow. At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel technicians to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. If you're ready for a new job and want to experience an award-winning workplace, drive your career forward with us. Visit cox.career/autotech to learn more. That's cox.career/autotech.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
terrible toll that PTSD will take on you. Because Carl Hettinger ran away from a critical incident, ran for his life, saved himself after seeing his partner being gunned down, and then was, because he read articles, he listened to cops, he had to leave, because so many other officers said, you're a terrible guy, you should never have given up your gun, and some people were saying it's because of you doing that you got your partner killed. Now imagine having to live with that for the rest of your life.
That's a debate that still goes on today.
It is a debate.
100%. And do you remember Trejo, Deputy Trejo, Sonoma County? He was on Highway 12, and he comes across a suspicious vehicle in front of a saddle shop. And it's on Highway 12, kind of heading out between Santa Rosa heading out into Sebastopol on the way out to Highway 1 and Bodega Bay.
How long was this?
This was...
You're going to have to refresh my memory because I don't remember this offhand.
95, 96.
Okay.
Right around there.
All right.
You could look at it. Either 95 or 96.
Okay.
Mike Trejo. I think that was his name, Mike. Deputy Trejo, Sonoma County SO.
Okay.
He comes up on a vehicle, kind of suspicious vehicle, in front of the saddle shop, and he gets out. Two people in the vehicle get out. He basically stops to see if he could render assistance, check them, talk to them, see what's going on. They get the drop on him with a shotgun, and they say, "Take off your duty belt." He takes off his duty belt. Get on your knees. He gets on his knees, and they end up executing him right there with the shotgun. Gave up his gun. So this debate happens in law enforcement.
Well, you're spot on. I'm looking at this right now. Folks, if you want to find out information about officers that have fallen, go to odmp.org, odmp.org, which is the Officer Down Memorial page, odmp.org. And you're right. You nailed the year. It was March 29th, 1995. Damn good memory, mister. Deputy Frank V. Trejo.
Mike was his son.
Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, California. And then as a description, it says, Deputy Frank Trejo was shot and killed investigating a suspicious vehicle parked at a closed business. At about 11:30 p.m., Deputy Trejo saw an occupied pickup in the parking lot of the Santa Rosa Saddlery. Again, nice memory on that. On Highway 12 west of Santa Rosa. The business was closed. Deputy Trejo stopped to investigate. In the vehicle was a recently paroled inmate from Pelican Bay State Prison. Stop. People who don't know California should know that Pelican Bay State Prison, which is way up north by, I think, Crescent City.
Yep.
Is the worst of the worst. It's where the worst inmates go that can't get along with officers, inmates. They can't get along with anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the special housing units.
Yes,
the SHU
they have
unit.
the SHU up there. Anyway, he was a paroled inmate from Pelican Bay with an extensive criminal history, and he was a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, and he was with a female companion. The two occupants were casing a tavern next to the closed business, intending on committing an armed robbery. As Trejo was walking toward the suspect vehicle, the paroled inmate pulled out a sawed-off shotgun, confronted him at the rear of the pickup. He shot Deputy Trejo in the face with the shotgun, killing him instantly, then took Deputy Trejo's gun and fled the area. The two forced their way into a house a short distance away and took a family hostage.
So if I remember correctly, his duty belt was placed on the hood of his car. So I could be mistaken on this, but I don't think I am. But he was believed that he was told to remove his duty belt. His duty belt was, I think, it was found on the hood of the patrol car. I believe that's the case. Bleacher and Freeman.
Right, the CHP officers.
Yep, California Highway Patrol officers Bleacher and Freeman. I think that was another one where
named a freeway around here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did the bypass.
Right. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, again, there it was one where partner taken, right, gets the drop on him. Male suspect, female in the vehicle, also traffic stop. Man, I'm trying to think. Not that we need to talk about this all night, but anyways, this was interesting, and if I'm remembering the facts on this correctly, the officers give up their guns or have it taken from them. Anyways, they give up their guns. One of them is handcuffed, executed. The other one had a backup pistol that he cleaned that day, took the backup pistol up, got the drop on the suspect, neglected to reload it. When it clicked, the suspect heard him and killed the second officer also. And I think you could look up them on the memorial page also. Bleacher and Freeman. But that's another one where that stuck out because it's another one where, man, you get your partner hostage, you give up your weapons, and then you go for a backup, and It's not loaded. Hold, that's like that dream, right? That's that recurring dream.
Oh,
where the 1,000-pound trigger pull, or the frickin' the hammer falls on an empty chamber.
There are recurring dreams that cops have. I was raised with revolvers, so my dream, which you nailed it, whenever I have it, and the Brain Theater still to this day ships it out every once in a while just to fuck with me, just because, is I'm in some kind of a critical incident. I go for deadly force, pull it out. It is a revolver, and I'll tell you why later. And I squeeze, and nothing is happening. I can't even get the trigger pulled. So that is, I mean, if that's an endemic dream amongst a bunch of law enforcement officers, then I'm guilty. I got that bad boy. I know why, but yeah, I still have that, even after all this time. Wow, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, okay, enough about me. What about you?
What about me? We were talking about Joseph Wambaugh. But the point was the fact that this is this
in the
is
onion field.
This in the onion field, and this is a debate that was happening all the way back to the 70s. I forget when that incident happened. The 70s.
Yeah, it was in
right
the
mid.
70s.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
What you're hearing is Hardie Fiber Cement Siding living up to its reputation as the siding that helps resist weather damage, no matter what Mother Nature throws its way. James Hardie knows how important a reputation is, especially when you're a home builder. That's why Hardie products withstand the elements better than wood-based siding, with styles to match their strength. Because when home builders work with us, we deliver our best so they can look their best. Protect your reputation with exterior products by James Hardie.
70s.
James Woods was one of the bad guys. He played a great bad guy in that.
Well, so this stuff has been happening from back then.
Oh.
And the whole point of these stories up with Deputy Trejo and Bleacher and Freeman and so forth is this is a debate that's still going on. Bleacher and Freeman were, 80s? Trejo was 90s. So here you have an event, 3 different decades, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, where, and this is just stuff we're coming up with off the top of our heads, where this is a debate in law enforcement that's going on. So he wrote a very important book in terms of, like you said, bringing attention to it, and I thought it was very well done. But the debate has never really been solved because it keeps coming up, and every time something like this happens, it rears its ugly head again in terms of what do you do. And I don't know that there's a right answer. I don't think there is a right answer, because how much range time do you have? If your partner's hostage and you have, this much, how confident are you that you could take that shot? Can you get a contact shot? If you're not that good, maybe you really believe your partner will be let go. That's
the only people available to make a credible assessment of anything on that incident are the people involved.
I agree. Absolutely. I mean, you can round table it to death.
Monday morning quarterback the hell out of Carl Hettinger. Now, I'm looking at his bio right here. Did Carl Hettinger commit suicide?
I don't remember.
I know.
I'm
looking
don't
at
remember.
it right here.
Did he?
But through all of this stuff that went on, and I'm going to read some of it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Hettinger died on May 4th, 1994, at a hospital in Bakersfield. He was 59. The cause of death was liver failure.
Drinking. He
Yep.
drank himself to death.
Yep. Joe Wambaugh said of Hettinger, after writing both the book and the film about the onion field, Carl minded terribly, but I just exploited him. I used money as my weapon to get the story. I offered him money that, for the sake of his family, he couldn't refuse. I acted that way because I thought the story was more important than Carl Hettinger, more important than me, that it was a story so important that I would have done almost anything to get it written. In reflection, rather revealing words. In 1985, Hettinger spoke for the first time about the incident. I still get uneasy. I can't sleep very well. I can still see their faces. I want to stop him, Powell, from getting back on the street. I know this man. That same year, Hettinger strongly opposed parole for Powell. Hettinger said, I'm speaking as a victim. A very good friend of mine was murdered, and the same men tried to murder me, but the death penalty was not carried out. I don't think it's right. I've been quiet too long.
Was that were they Rosebird commutees?
Funny you should mention that. Yes, it was the Rosebird Supreme Court.
The only Supreme Court justice in California history to be recalled?
Yeah, imagine that. And his partner was Ian Campbell.
Ian, okay.
That's the name we were trying to remember. But to go through your life like that, in many departments, not just in California, not just kind of locally in Southern California, but I mean all across the United States, and who knows what kind of an influence it had in, I don't know, Western European countries. Oh, I'm sure they had the same media. They could read the same books. They could see the same movies. This guy was a pariah for the rest of his life, in that he made it to what I say, the age of 59?
54.
59.
59. Okay.
That's pretty amazing in and of itself. Can you imagine the stress getting up each and every day, having to face that, and once being a member of a really... Folks, you don't know the camaraderie and the solid unity that law enforcement has. It really is a group of people that by the job sometimes live together, play together, recreate together, go drinking together. Now, not so much drinking. Probably they go vaping together.
Yeah, they probably go get pedicures together.
Pedicures together.
You know, they get their man buns tied up together.
But it's a closely knit group that all of a sudden, after one night, he could never be a member of again. And not only that, a close member, kept close by his family, his law enforcement family, he was kicked to the curb forever. He could never get back. Ever. Kind of a sad, man, I didn't expect going this way. Anyway, Joe Wambaugh said, I got a half hour. And so I initially, man, I had probably 30, 40 questions for him that I hoped I might be able to expand things a little bit. That was pretty clear. It was a half hour, so man, did I have to cut down the questions. I had to parse left and right. But he was very kind, very thoughtful, and sent me a little email at the end. He enjoyed it. I'm not sure. He did one interview in 2019 that I could find, and that might be the last. He made it pretty clear he's not going to write any more books. He'd like to see the Hollywood Station series go somewhere. And he's just enjoying life. I think he lives in Point Loma somewhere, which kind of overlooks, if you don't know San Diego, that overlooks like North Island, North Naval Air Station, the North Island, Coronado, the Coronado Bridge. I mean, it's
beautiful.
If you want to see the carriers in the fleet all day long, you can. It's a gorgeous area, and I don't begrudge him anything because he worked hard for a really long time. So again, thanks to Joe Wambaugh for doing that. We're on a break. When we come back, You don't really have a Clint story per se, but you made me aware of what I consider to be a really interesting historical story. And when we come back, maybe we can talk about that.
Sounds good.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, and then we'll get into some meat.
Meat?
Some carne.
Und potatoes. Und potatoes. Meat and potatoes. We'll be right back with meat and potatoes.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show. Also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show?
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplains.talkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever,
because truth is not always pleasant.
Hey guys, it's Sackhead Clint. I'm excited to tell you about a brand new show here on the SHR Media Network. I'm teaming up with the one and only all-powerful, the bloviating Zeppelin, sitting here to my left, bringing to you a fresh new show here on the network. It's Against Tyranny. And we'll be picking up where the Sackheads left off. Excited to be with you, sir.
Sackheads Against Tyranny.
We're going to chat. We're going to chat Wednesday nights.
S-H-A-T.
Sackheads Against Tyranny.
Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Oh, it's the same time, right? 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific.
Same SAC time, same SAC channel.
Yep. SHRmedia.com.
See what I did there?
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
Hey, BZ. So the plan's working. You got rid of Sacco. Sean is now stepping away.
I never even saw him.
And I know, and insidious. You know, we talked about this for for the last 3 years, and finally coming to fruition.
You know, I'm still in the room, right?
It's almost like he's here still. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's amazing. It's kind of
at you.
It's kind of eerie.
Kind of a poltergeist.
Like a poltergeisty thing.
Yeah, sackheads against tyranny.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And we're back. We're back. The first half hour went rather rapidly. Tonight it's me, BZ. And across from me is Contrarian CLINT. One each. And we are the Sackheads Against Tyranny. And we're glad to be here. Clint, we're going to get into some history. Before we do that, any Clint stories, or shall we just jump with both feet?
I gave a little taste, so that's going to have to suffice. Let's jump with both feet.
Okay. All right. Into history. Now, you found this story, and you brought it to my attention. I had no idea. And because we are both devotees of history, maybe you can regale us with that tale, because the headline, if nothing else, I found really, really engaging. The headline says, it's like, what? The headline says, Germany could have won key World War II battles if they'd made these tactical changes, study says.
I saw that.
So it's almost like, is this sort of another man in the high castle scenario?
So it was Britain's University of York, and they used a computer model that determined that the Battle of Britain could have been won by the Germans had they attacked Great Britain immediately after Winston Churchill gave his speech on the finest hour on June 18th instead of July 10th. So they waited 3 weeks to start their offensive. And if they would have, and during that 3-week period, what was Great Britain doing?
Probably stocking, marshaling, getting as many people trained, prepared.
Yeah, and it was huge. Another thing they should have done is they should have continued their attack on the British airfields after August 13th. Had they continued to pound those airfields, and had they hit immediately after the finest hour speech, the simulation showed that German would have been able to, what is Operation Sea Lion or whatever it was, they would have been able to go to the next step in their land invasion of Great Britain. Great Britain would not have been able to defend against the German onslaught.
Let's see. There's a quote in here. It says, the Luftwaffe would only have been able to make the necessary bases in France available to launch an air attack on Britain in June at the earliest. So our alternative campaign brings forward the air campaign by 3 weeks. The weighted bootstrap technique allowed us to model alternative campaigns in which the Luftwaffe prolongs or contracts the different phases, I should say, of the battle and varies its target. So when I read that, what does that remind you of? Another scenario.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Which other scenario? The one with Pearl Harbor. If the Japanese had been found.
If they had thrown. What did they throw? 2 flights?
They did. So if they had so there were a couple simulations run on Pearl Harbor. So the first one was if Japan would have launched a third wave and taken out the fuel fields there at Pearl, that would have knocked America out for a year, I think was the estimated time frame. Japan would have dominated the Pacific. I mean, the fleet would have had to retreat to San Diego at that point on the West Coast, and Japan would have owned the Pacific and potentially Hawaii. I think I told you this story. Like I have a dollar. So my family obviously was over there at the time. Everybody who listens to the show knows my family's from Hawaii. My grandfather was a Pearl Harbor survivor, so I have a lot of ties to the island. Spent a lot of time there when I was younger, and I have a dollar bill that actually has Hawaii written on the back in black lettering. It's black outline, so you can see the bill through it, and it's the seal is brown instead of red or green. And the reason for that was if the islands had been taken or fallen into Japanese hands, all of that currency would be worth zero on the world market. So Japan would not have been able to use that U.S. currency. It would have been worthless. So in the Hawaiian Islands, the U.S. issued Hawaii currency, and it said Hawaii right on the front, also in small black lettering underneath. I should bring it in and show you. I keep talking about it, but I know exactly where it is. I need to bring it in and show it to you.
Absolutely love to see that.
But the other simulation they ran was, what if the USS Enterprise had been closer to port, or had the Japanese been detected, or had they listened to the radar warnings? So they've gamed all of this out, and the simulations showed, and there were some top admirals and so forth who did this wargaming exercise, and what they discovered was that had the U.S. discovered the location of the Japanese fleet and pursued them and caught up to them, U.S. losses would have been heavier because the losses would have been total losses in deep water. So the game showed that we would have lost more lives and not been able to salvage anything in terms of what was marshaled to go, because the U.S. had one carrier, if Enterprise was able to kind of get into position, and then whatever battleships and so forth they mustered out of Pearl, and the Japanese still had all their carriers and their fleet that had sailed for the attack. So in that model, they said it was actually better that the U.S. Navy was caught in Pearl, because most of those ships, a lot of those ships were able to be either raised and scrapped or raised and repaired and sent back into service.
Well, and because of the nature of battle at the time, those were ships, primarily battleships, that were outmoded. Completely.
They were World War I.
They were World War I was fought due to a battleship navy in multiple countries. That's not how the Navy operated in World War II. Battleships were completely obsolete.
Because of, as it turned out, but they didn't know that at the time. Yamamoto proved that to be the case. And
especially with Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, but up until that day, they believed battleships were, the Germans built the Bismarck, the biggest, baddest battleship on the block.
Yeah, and then it went
literally in a circle when the rudder was knocked into position.
Down the drain. Do you read alternate history?
Some.
Okay. I'm going to recommend to you, and this might be an interesting guy to get on my show. I don't know if people have made a habit of interviewing this guy. I've read a bunch of his books. If you like alternative history, this guy goes into World War II quite a bit. His name is Robert Conroy. And he wrote a book about Pearl Harbor called 1942. Then he wrote 1945. America dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but then it turns out that didn't do it, and we had to invade the island, and what would have happened under that. Then he wrote another one, Red Inferno, 1945. He wrote 1942, 1901. God, now this reminds me that I probably should get this guy on the show and see if I... Anyway, Robert Conroy, if you read alternate history, I've got a whole bunch of his books, and he's a guy that I would highly recommend. Are we done with alternate history? And should we go on to stuff that is
matters
happening right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing happened.
Right. Let's see if I can get this up to the right way.
What are you getting up to the right way?
Joe Scarborough said earlier, that all conservatives are in a Fox News bubble, and we have, this is a quote, no idea what's coming in November.
Oh, man.
So everything that we've been seeing is Joe Scarborough saying that we as conservatives have no idea about what's coming in November, despite all the stuff that they've done, they've seen. I'm trying to find, here we go. Let me see if I can get into this appropriately and cut in and find the right spot.
In Hollywood, they would be, they'd get confirmation. Oh, that's so smart. That's so insightful. And so as a conservative, you always had to be sharper. Here, and I think it's why conservatives learned how to win elections so much more effectively than Democrats. Now Here we are in 2020, and it's the Trumpists, it's the conservatives, it's the right wing that's created this bubble. They go into that bubble. They don't know what exists outside of that bubble as far as for making arguments. We saw this of Mitt Romney in 2012. He watched Fox News. He looked at Gallup polls and was sure he was going to win when the rest of America knew he was headed to defeat. Isn't that bizarre?
Okay, let me stop right here. This guy has and D.C. No damn clue. Mm-hmm. Number one, do you think Mitt Romney perched on Fox News all the time?
No.
Not
even close.
Not even remotely close.
No.
Because Mitt Romney was the same dude as John McCain. And I ended up hating Mitt Romney because he later told...
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
One of his sons, I don't remember which one, that all along while he was running, you know what, I'm not really all that interested in running for president. I just felt it was kind of the right thing to do at the time.
You know what? You know why I think he's a sleazebag? I'll give you President Trump got him elected. Do you remember Trump went out and campaigned with it? Got him elected.
Oh, yeah.
And now he turns around
and then,
yeah.
But it's interesting, and the reason I wanted to play this is because you have to know your enemy. And I make no bones about it. As far as I'm concerned, leftists, Democrats, the American media maggots, you know, I shouldn't be drawing lines like that. Screw them. They're my enemy because they want to take this country down. But there's more. But wait, there's more. You got to hear more of what he says.
Conservatives have now, like liberals used to, created their own echo chamber online, on Fox News, in newspapers of their choice, and it allows them to live very comfortably in their 42%. They have no idea what's coming in November.
Do we have any idea what's coming? This was so funny. I had to play this. I think the reverse is exquisitely true. They have no idea that it's going to be a replay of 2016, except I think that the electoral will be closer.
You think so?
Yeah. I think the electoral will be closer. But I think what will occur is he will, in fact, get the electoral, and he'll get the popular vote, too. And I think
I can see that.
I think that will be that'll be a baton across the head of leftists and Democrats and the American media maggots. I don't think they realize the reverse is true. We've found that everything of which they are accusing us, they themselves are guilty of now.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that they're sitting in the catbird seat, folks, do you really think that the Democrats are sitting in the catbird seat right now?
You know what's... Never mind. Look, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind.
You're going to say a bad word?
No, I wasn't. I was going to offer a thought, but I'm going to reserve it. No, I'm going to reserve it
for later.
Yes,
it's in your pocket.
It's in my pocket. It's in my pocket. Now is not the time to bring it out. Now is not the time to bring it out.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that. Look, I really think that this impeachment push is going to hurt the Democrats. I think that a majority of Americans think that this is bullshit. I do think that some Americans are going to vote against Donald Trump because they think he's an asshole. But I think that a lot of Americans will vote for him, if for nothing else than because they believe that what the Democrats are doing is wrong. I believe that. I believe that to be true. I also think that they're going to look at their pocketbooks and realize that they're a lot better off. Now, the interesting thing is Bill Clinton, when he was going through impeachment, and Bill Clinton came out of impeachment pretty good.
He smelled. He smelled. He didn't. But, like Simone says in chat, the cat box. He didn't smell like a cat box when it came out.
He didn't. But he wasn't up for re-election at that point, and he had a good economy going for him, and he was fairly likable.
He was everything Hillary isn't.
He was.
He is likable, and he's a politician.
Yes.
He knew when to press forward and when to back off.
Yes, and he knew when to work with the other side.
Yes.
The thing about thank you. The thing about President Trump, and look, I'm a big supporter of him. I think he has done more for our country than any president since Ronald Reagan.
In quite some time.
I 100% believe that, and I give Ronald Reagan the credit because of how he, I believe, should be credited for ending the Cold War. But Donald Trump is doing a phenomenal job, and if he weren't such an asshole in people's minds, I think his popularity would be way higher. But if you look at everything he did, and people tend to vote their pocketbooks. Nobody likes politicians. If anything, I think Donald Trump is more likable just for the fact that you know what you're getting with the man. He says what's on his mind. You don't have to wonder what President Donald Trump is thinking. You know what the man is thinking. He will tell you exactly what he's thinking. Adam Schiff is a sleazebag. He'll just say it. So I think that people are going to, when it comes time to, as you say, pull the big red handle, I think that people are going to take a look at their financial situation. The difference is between Trump and Clinton. Trump is in an election year. And the second thing is he's not as likable, quote unquote, as Bill Clinton. Here's what's interesting, and here's why I think this is important and why impeachment is coming in and playing a part of this. And there's so many things around this. First of all, why are the senators running against Donald Trump not recused from this process? Because they obviously cannot possibly be fair. That's a side note.
And a great question.
Right? Why is the Chief Justice, and I know there's nothing in the Constitution that would allow for this, but it would seem logical that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court could say, okay, you're dismissed, you're dismissed, you're dismissed, you're dismissed. You have a horse in this race. But the Democratic field is screwed up. Would we agree on that?
Oh,
like I think even the Democrats.
I've got a great story that illustrates that.
Even the Democrats know that their field is fucked up. But here's what the Democratic National Convention has that I don't think the RNC does. The DNC has something called superdelegates.
Okay, yes, they do.
And they can vote for whoever the fuck they want. And if this field of Democrats...
Oh, are you talking BC?
If this field of Democrats...
Oh, you're talking BC.
...cannot get a majority or what they need to get the nomination, then superdelegates come into play. And we may end up with a Democrat nominee who is not any of these people.
Can I suggest some initials?
You can. And that's dangerous. And the reason that's dangerous is because if somebody else comes up against Trump who is more of a moderate, who's more what we thought Joe Biden might be, then you can have now a president who's coming out of an impeachment trial. And granted, most people know it's bullshit, but we got some moderates right now and some moderate Democrats right now who are going to go for Trump, I think. Switch it up now and put someone else who's not in the current Democratic field, who hasn't gone to crazy land, who doesn't have a bunch of sound bites from these ridiculous debates that can be used.
Okay, I'm not going to throw those initials that I was thinking about out anymore.
And I think Donald Trump's re-election bid just got a lot tougher.
Are you going to reveal who you think that might be?
No, I'm not.
We're just going to have to wait and see.
Because I don't know.
I was first thinking, okay, Hillary Clinton, and then you went further, and then I thought, oh, no. She's got a lot of her own problems right now.
She does, but she got the popular vote. And
see, I was thinking when you started to go there, I was thinking, okay, brokered convention, because Hillary doesn't want to run. She just wants to be
the nominee.
The magic wand and go, bing, you're it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because all that stuff, all the rest of that stuff, that irritating stuff, that's for little people. She's not little people. She's Hillary.
And that would be the second time that the DNC has screwed over.
Guess who?
Bernie Sanders. And they don't have to worry about the socialist label, and she will placate the far left in her campaign, and she can also try and be the moderate. And if she were smart, she could kind of use her husband's coattails a little bit if need be. But even if it's not HRC, I'm just saying insert moderate Democrat. It could be somebody that we're not even thinking of right now. That's my only point.
Are you may not be willing to reveal just yet, but are you thinking of anybody in particular? Anybody on that stage? Anybody on the stage of the debates?
I got a long shot one that I think it is a possibility, and I think Tulsi Gabbard is a possibility in a brokered convention.
She's been on Tucker's show a lot, so she's getting exposure kind of from both sides,
and
that's interesting.
And she is look, and let's look at her from a likability standpoint. Number one, she's likable.
She's likable.
She's She's an officer in the military.
Yep.
Right in the National Guard, Hawaiian National Guard, but still, she's an officer in the military. She just won a push-up competition spontaneously at one of her rallies.
Missed that one.
Oh, did you?
I didn't even
look it up. Yeah, somebody challenges her to a spontaneous push-up competition, and she wins.
Okay. I completely missed that.
So the military side of her, the exposure on Fox News as well as other networks, is getting her exposure to the moderates and to the Republicans and to the Republican never-Trumpers. Did you see it? Did you find it?
Okay. Where is this? Tulsi Gabbard wins push-up contest at New Hampshire Town Hall.
How did you miss this?
I did.
How the heck did you miss this?
I missed this completely. Okay, so I want to see if there's any kind of...
So I think that she... Let me know when you get it, because I don't want dead air to happen right now. But I think she's a dark horse candidate. But look at the exposure she's getting right now in terms of where she's appearing and what she's doing. What did she just do recently? I sent you the article today.
Oh,
that is going to fire conservatives up.
Oh,
what did she do?
Oh, no, let's not Bigfoot that just yet.
All right.
Let's save that for the number one right after the break.
Okay.
But now I found it. And I think there's a sound cut in this.
Okay.
So do you want to do the setup, or you want me to read it?
No, go ahead. Go ahead and read it.
Okay. So Tulsi Gabbard, Hawaii Democrat, came prepared for an unexpected push-up contest after she was challenged at a New Hampshire town hall. Gabbard, a combat veteran who served in Iraq and a member of the Hawaii Army National Guard, previously shared videos of her workout routine on social media. So here's the video. Let me see.
You'll link it in chat.
Let me see if this has good audio on it. Let's see. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, do it. So she's doing a bunch.
And somebody's doing them with her.
Yeah. And it's a guy.
Uh-huh.
And the guy gives up.
Yes.
And then she gives him the 3 count.
So, look.
I missed that.
I don't know how the hell you missed that.
I did.
So, these are the things. Look, that's the kind of stuff that speaks to people who would traditionally vote Republican or conservative, because she can do that kind of stuff. That's like regular person stuff, for lack of a better term, if that makes sense. That's almost like when Bill Clinton played the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show.
Yeah, and people asking what kind of underwear he had.
Right? People ask, yeah. But it made him look like just a regular person,
a person,
right?
yeah.
Like I can relate to that guy. That was cool. When Bill Clinton played the saxophone on the late night television show, he won the election. So many people, that was such a big deal, I think, that was a major part of his personality that made him so likable. That, and he played clips of George Bush Sr. saying, "Read my lips, no new taxes," and then he passed the taxes. Screwed him. He lost his second term. So I bring up Tulsi Gabbard for those reasons. Now, policy-wise, do I agree with her? Of course not. Right? She is horrible on 2A issues. She's a Democrat from Hawaii. Of course she's going to be horrible on 2A issues. But has she been talking about that?
No.
No, she hasn't. There are all these things she's not talking about. She's playing very middle of the road. She's getting exposure on these other networks. I would not be surprised if in a brokered convention the Democrats kind of sit down and say, okay, who do we think can pull some of these conservative votes and probably beat Trump? A woman, a combat veteran, and somebody who tends to be moderate and is getting...
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Exposure on it, but yet is going to vote our way on guns and all these other things.
I
could see that.
We're going to have to go to a break. When we come back, Jack came into chat. Now, I know for a fact that Jack Alexander thinks that later on this year, in some fashion, unless he's changed, the last I heard is Jack believes that Hillary's going to come out of the wings. And I've got a story about that.
Might.
And then the interesting point is, Simone in chat said, that's why Trump is likable. We can all relate to some part of him.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that pushes back and doesn't take any crap resonates in a lot of us.
It does.
Right now. And you have to admit, as someone that I know and love once said, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show. Also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern. Only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
Hey guys, it's Sackhead Clint. I'm excited to tell you about a brand new show here on the SHR Media Network. I'm teaming up with the one and only all-powerful, the bloviating Zeppelin, sitting here to my left, bringing to you a fresh new show here on the network. It's Against Tyranny, and we'll be picking up where the Sackheads left off. Excited to be with you, sir.
Sackheads Against Tyranny.
We're going to chat. We're going to chat Wednesday nights.
S-H-A-T.
Sackheads Against Tyranny.
Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Oh, it's the same time, right? 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific.
Same SAC time, same SAC channel.
Yep. SHRmedia.com.
See what I did there?
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
Hey, BZ. So the plan's working. You got rid of Sacco. Sean is now stepping away.
I never even saw him.
And I know, and insidious. Insidious. You know, we talked about this for, for the last 3 years, and finally coming to fruition.
You know I'm still in the room, right?
It's almost like he's here still. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's amazing. It's kind of
at you.
It's kind of eerie.
Poltergeist.
Like a poltergeisty thing.
Yeah, sackheads against tyranny.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Well, shoot, we're back.
We're back. We had a great conversation.
We did. Some of the best conversations
happen off mic.
Off mic.
Look, one of the things we were talking about, and this is 100%
you
true.
guys don't get to hear them, but you're going to.
Yeah. I'm just going to recap it real quick. So it was actually a really nice conversation.
It was.
I don't look. I would
nicely taken.
I would not vote for Tulsi Gabbard over Donald Trump. I wouldn't. That being said, I like Tulsi Gabbard, like as a person.
And we were both saying that if, for whatever reason, if she was on the phone right now or in our studio right there at another microphone, we feel that we could have a good conversation with her. We would have a respectful conversation. It could be a debate. She would call us wrong. We would call her wrong. But she would still respect our stance, and we would respect her stance if for no other reason than she was here willing to discuss it with us and not just say, fuck you, and move along.
And I believe she would. I believe that and here's the other thing that we talked about. I think she is the person just based on her service and the pride that she has and the job that she has done and continues to do in service of the country. I believe she genuinely wants to serve the country. I get that feel from her. I believe that to be true.
I do. I completely agree. I think she is.
And she would fight. And
she's a proud American.
She is.
She just has different views.
She has, which we disagree with. But I believe.
But that's okay.
I believe that she would fight and die for our ability to sit here and disagree with her.
And we would do the
just
same
as we
for
would
her,
fight and die for her. Absolutely. Whereas most of these
from
Democrats,
a position of respect.
Right. Most of these Democrats, though, aren't like that. They don't believe in service before self. They don't believe in any of that stuff, and she does. And that's why I think Donald Trump would have a difficult time against her. So again, I really like her. I respect her and the job she does. Disagree with her. I would not vote for her over Donald Trump.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
But I do like her. You had a story, speaking of Tulsi Gabbard, and then I have one little story, and then I want to get into impeachment if you're good with that.
Yeah.
You got to go ahead. I sent it to you, but I want you to tell it because I pictured you just giggling and giggling when I sent that to you.
Yeah.
And your response was great.
I'm trying to find the video, and I might have to wait for that for a second. Anyway, you sent the story to me, and the headline is Gabbard hits Clinton, Tulsi Gabbard hits Hillary Clinton not Bill, with a $50 million defamation lawsuit over Russian asset remarks. And this stemmed from a radio interview that Hillary Clinton had with some leftist radio, whoever the hell they were. It wasn't a video per se, it was audio from a podcast or a radio show. So she's accusing former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton of deliberately spreading false accusations that Gabbard is a Russian asset because in her interview, that's what she said in a lawsuit seeking upwards of $50 million in damages. During an October 2019 interview with the podcast Campaign HQ with David Plouffe, Clinton suggested the 2020 presidential candidate was, quote, this is a quote, the favorite of the Russians and, quote, a Russian asset. You can't get any more plain than that.
No.
So she said, obviously, these have no grounds in reality whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And further, the suit says she full well knew that at the time and still said it. Now that marks the clear delineation between your suit's not going anywhere. Now you have to prove somehow that you feel that she knew this and made the statement anyway. So that leads me to believe Tulsi may have something in a briefcase somewhere with some kind of proof, or I don't think she really would have gone with the lawsuit. But if she was anywhere... Now, here's where all the damn dynamics come out. Because now we're talking about Gabbard, we're talking about Hillary Clinton, and now we're talking about Bernie Sanders. And in terms of all three of those... Oh, and I forgot. Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas,
now
as Trump calls her.
There are shots being fired back and forth between all of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Warren is claiming that Bernie Sanders said a female wouldn't be a good president. Now, do I know for a fact whether he said that or not? No, I don't know.
Hang on, but there is audio of him giving a speech where he in fact talks about a woman could become president.
So now you've got both camps, the Bernie camp and the Warren camp, firing shots back and forth at each other, because I have not heard any audio of that. And I haven't heard any video of that.
I think Mark Levin, it was Mark Levin's show that actually played the audio of Bernie Sanders talking about a woman could become president.
Okay. So we haven't heard anything, because I submit, had that video or audio existed, we would already have heard about it now, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have rockets and missiles fired between those two. Now we have rockets and missiles fired between Bernie Sanders and also between Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton, the one who essentially got Bernie Sanders kicked out and kicked to the curb in 2016, now she and Bernie are having a bit of a tete-a-tete, and she's saying essentially Bernie is completely unelectable. Then she's got this lawsuit with Tulsi Gabbard. We were talking, you were indicating that Tulsi Gabbard, that Tulsi Gabbard can pick up a lot of stuff that maybe nobody else can in an electable fashion. Okay, here we go. Now that you just sent me something from heavy.com, Bernie Sanders, history of supporting women running for president, videos. Okay, so let me see if any of these have... Oh, okay. Here's a video. So I can do this. Let's play the audio of this. If it will let me. Come on. You can do it.
Jack Alexander in the chat room.
Okay. Come on.
Whose side are you on? Are you on the side of workers and poor people, or are you on the side of big money and the corporations?
Okay, well, that wasn't a very good video. Let me see if I can find another one where there's actually some decent audio about it. But anyway, from this, oh wait, no, here we go. This is a YouTube video. This should have, I would expect some decent audio in it.
Bernie Sanders, we're just a couple of weeks away from the Iowa caucuses, and by most folks' accounts, ready to plunge.
Come on.
What happened?
Come on.
What did you do?
Come on.
Into the political
There we
process,
go.
the process of electing a president here in the United States.
What did you
your
do?
Perspective in that job, what kind of a person would you like to see as president of the United States?
Well, I would like to see somebody who has the guts to begin to stand up to the people who own this country, to recognize that in our nation today we have an extreme disparity between the rich and the poor, that elections are bought and sold and controlled by people who have huge sums of money. So my first concern is to have a president who has the courage to look reality in the face and say that.
This is, he's going to get to it, and this keeps coming in and out. But basically, this is the Bernie then in the 90s is Bernie of 2020.
Yeah, he hasn't changed.
Bernie hasn't changed.
He hasn't changed.
Not at all.
Soviet Union's great.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, socialism, what a wonderful thing. That'll work out so well for us.
I know we want to get into impeachment. I have one little story to get to first. Have you seen that a study came out, and they're saying that Mars, the water may be evaporating faster than they thought. So I read this story, and here's what. Yeah, so Mars may well have liquid water.
Mars
at
needs
or near
women.
surface. A new study suggests that the water vapor, which is escaping from the surface of the planet, is evaporating faster than it thought. So Mars, it is now being discovered, is losing water and water vapor at a much faster rate than originally being thought.
Okay, are they trying to hint that it's creating an atmosphere then?
No, but what struck me about this is what I thought. Oh, fuck. Global warming.
Simone in chat
Did
just
she?
said that. Simone in chat just said global.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Warming
Yes.
on Mars.
Yes. I read this story and I laughed because I thought, holy shit. Look, there's natural climate change occurring on Mars, and there's no people there. Unless they're going to say our rovers.
Oh, they must
Our
have had
rovers.
something to do with it. You
Our
know that we're
rovers
linked to
did
that.
something to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found the other article that I was looking for. This is from The Hill. Hillary Clinton tears open wound with her attack on Sanders. An attack on Sanders. Hillary Clinton tore open old wounds from her divisive 2016 battle, putting Democrats on edge about whether the party will be able to unite after a 2020 primary that has produced new fault lines between the center and the left. Clinton's attack on Sanders and her refusal to commit to endorsing him or campaigning for him if he wins the Democrat presidential nomination. Ooh, that's pretty big. Infuriated progressives and raised new fears among Democrats. I find that very interesting. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask everybody else.
12.
12?
Yes.
13?
No, 12.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so.
The answer tonight is
12.
12.
The password is 12.
Okay, good to know. AOC has been making mouth music to the effect that the Democrats aren't left. The Democrats are moderates. Bernie...
This is not shocking.
Bernie has been saying all along that he is what she is. She is endorsing him, a Democrat socialist. She will just barely be 35 if she were... Well, okay, let me throw this out. Before I even get to my main point, let me go to an adjunct point. Do you think AOC will run for president?
At some point, yes, I do. Absolutely. Okay. No, not a doubt in my mind.
Okay. All right. That having been said, if she runs in 2024, by the time January 20th, 2025 comes around, she wouldn't be 35 by the time that she's elected, but she would be 35 by the time that she was appointed. So, will she run in 2024? And then the other point is she and Bernie Sanders trying actively, in my opinion, to create a splinter party and take the roadshow out on their own because, as I've said for years, the left are insufficiently left for the left.
Yes. I think that they're trying to... I don't think they're trying to splinter. I think they're trying to overtake the Democratic Party. I think they're trying to turn the Democratic Party...
Because they've always said primary the crap out of everybody.
Yeah. I think they're trying to turn the Democratic Party into the Democratic Socialist Party, and without calling it democratic socialism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
And they'll just want to keep the name because people are that stupid.
Correct.
Just like people in California, spell it with a K, are always that stupid as well.
Yeah. Even though they hate it. They hate it. They hate the gas tax. People hate it. They fucking voted for it.
Oh, I got, what do we got? We got,
impeachment.
10 more. Here's another. This will go kind of towards impeachment, but I want to throw this in before we wrap up the show. And we got 10 more minutes before the bottom of the hour break. I saw this, and you didn't make any mention of this, so I find this interesting, and then I'm going to ask you and everybody that's listening or watching what your opinion is. The Supreme Court evidently has decided that they will hear the faithless elector case ahead of the 2020 presidential election. So if you're wondering, okay, what is that? The Supreme Court said it's going to hear a case about whether presidential electors have to vote in accordance with their state's popular vote in the Electoral College. Yep. Because remember now, there are at least 12 states that have said, okay, whatever we go with, whoever those people are, if we vote, if we all go for Clinton,
then you all have to vote for.
All are going to go for Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
The court said it would take up the case of Chiafalo versus State of Washington, where 3 so-called faithless electors who were fined after voting in 2016 for Colin Powell are challenging whether a state can bind an elector to select the state's popular vote winner. In the faithless elector case, advocates for the court's intervention say the issue needs urgent resolution in an era of intense political polarization and the prospect of a razor-thin margin in a presidential election, although so-called faithless electors have been a footnote so far in American history. So the justices have said they are going to hear the arguments in April and should have a decision by June.
Yeah.
So-
what happens if
so-
what happens if California,
'Cause California-
overwhelmingly goes for, but somebody's pissed off all the homeless population and they vote for Trump?
Ooh.
I think the Constitution allows the electoral college to. The president is selected by the electoral college. Period. Not by the popular vote, who then determines the electors that get sent, but by the electors themselves. They are the ones that cast the votes, not the people. We are a representative republic. We are not a democracy.
See, but people think that because they elect senators and Congress,
Which they shouldn't elect senators either.
No, that's right. That's right. That's an interesting point. The original intent was that the House elects the senators.
The states elect the senators.
Yes.
The state
the representatives
the state
from
legislatures,
the states
elect
go
the senators.
and they elect the senator, not the people.
Nope. The people elect the House.
It's the people's house.
Yes. The House of Representatives represents the interests of the people. The Senate is supposed to represent the interest of the states. And the president is supposed to defend or represent the interests of the national government, the federal government. So you have the people, the states, and the federal all working together to get things done, laws signed, stuff like that. Anything that passes is supposed to be good for those three specific entities.
Which is why tearing apart everything makes everything else fall apart.
Yes, and when did we go to popular election of senators?
Civil War?
No. Woodrow Wilson's era. The progressive era.
Okay.
Early 20th century.
Woodrow Wilson's guns.
That's when that happened, because they wanted to move us away from a representative republic and more towards a pure democracy. And the thing they said is, it's corrupt. Selection of senators is corrupt. That was what they used in order to pass this amendment to the Constitution through, in order to change it to where senators are popularly elected. Now, what is the point of the Senate?
Well, wait. Yes, that. Plus, people also make the assumption, well, if I vote for a senator, that's who it is. If I vote for my Congress critter, that's who it is. And if I vote for a president, no, the Electoral College takes precedence. But it's only worked against them twice.
Yep.
Trump, Bush, that's it. And they're willing to tear down the system for two instances in history where it worked against them.
Mm-hmm.
So screw it, tear it all down. Rule of law can go to hell.
It's already torn down anyways. I mean, we haven't,
to a degree. Yeah,
we haven't been the same since the states no longer. Do you think Obamacare really would have passed the Senate and the burden that puts on the states if the states were truly represented in that body? Of course not. Obamacare would have failed.
Oh well, and there was a new there was a new law that came out that really did put the final coffin nail in Obamacare. It came out within the last week.
Yeah.
Or so. So
well, once they stripped the individual mandate out,
then it was.
Then it's no longer a tax. It's no longer a tax, and if it's no longer a tax, remember that's the whole reason Obamacare stood up because it was called a tax, even though it's bullshit. It wasn't. It was a fee.
It was a fee
or a fine, right? But they called it a tax.
That's right. You're right. More accurately, it's a fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
but they called it a tax. Okay, Justice Roberts, you called it a tax. But now that that's stripped out, Obamacare can't stand because the whole reason the Supreme Court upheld it is based on that. Let's talk impeachment.
Okay. You want to?
Yeah, go for it. The House finally submitted the articles of impeachment and sent their managers, a whole bunch of very, very fair-minded individuals, which is good, right? That's good. The House sent all fair.
Because they're fair.
Yeah, they're fair, right? They sent an equal number of Republicans and Democrats to put their case on to the Senate, which is good. That's fair. Or not, they didn't do that at all. Mitch McConnell, staying true to his word, was able to stave off all of the jackassery that Chuck Schumer was trying to ram through all the amendments and so forth. And we heard opening arguments. We've heard Adam Schiff's gas bag for the last 2 days.
Oh, these people just keep basically rambling.
Chief Justice Roberts had to admonish both sides.
Yeah, he did. He had to be the referee today.
He did. Lindsey Graham has grown on me a lot.
I was wondering what that little lump underneath your sweatshirt was.
It's a Lindsey Graham.
Because it looks like it has blonde hair.
Yeah. Look, Lindsey Graham used to, and we talked about this last time,
last
right?
show,
About what his
I
turning
played
point
5 minutes of how he got to where he is now.
Did. This guy is calling the Democrats out. I think my favorite part so far was when Jay Sekulow was calling Adam Schiff out line by line by line, and Adam Schiff was sitting there staring at him. I think he was shocked because it was almost like he was on trial at that point instead of President Trump being on trial at this point. And question, BZ,
sir.
I don't think it's any secret to any fair-minded Americans. Obviously, if you're just a leftist hack who believes everything you hear on CNN or anything like that, then obviously this is a legitimate impeachment, right? In your mind. But I don't think any fair-minded American who really kind of looks at how this whole process played out can think that this was fair or that due process was followed or that the House was above bar on anything. How could the Chief Justice, because a regular judge could in a regular court hearings, right? Jury trial, if something's fucked, the judge can throw the case out. Now the trial,
declare summary judgment.
Right. Now the trial occurs in the Senate, but it's still presided over by a judge. So in a jury trial, a trial is held in a courtroom overseen by a judge. A judge can throw the case out. So if a trial takes place in the Senate and it's presided over by a judge, could President Trump's legal team not petition the Chief Justice to throw it out?
I think it's such a we got to do.
I don't think it's ever been done.
No, that's my point. Is a lot of the stuff that's going on right now is so nebulous and has never been really addressed before. Because we've impeached, two people?
Two presidents.
Two presidents, that's it. Wanted to get around Nixon. Nixon skated out on his helicopter. So this is all new territory. It's all very new territory. We got to take a break. We're going to come right back. You mentioned Jay Sekulow. I have a minute and a half of Jay Sekulow talking, making 3 really great fundamental points, and that's from yesterday. So we got the final half hour of the Sackheads Against Tyranny, a real chat show, coming up. And then when we come back, we're going to listen to Jay Sekulow, and then I really want to hear what it is. Oh, and then I found an audio bit on Saturday Night Live that occurred recently where it's amusing because they take leftists to task in this with a dog. And so we'll be right back after this.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
For 50 years, I've seen the American people blinded by corrupt politicians, a lapdog media, and deceptive Islam. The one thing the elites fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through Spreaker, iTunes, and SoundCloud, through SHR Media and the Western Free Radio Network, for half a century of experienced perspective on political and social issues, weekly on The Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender, ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Shannon Wright of The Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM. Mike's not here, so I gotta talk fast. You gotta join us. Fall season. Getting ready to start up with a whole bunch of new stuff. News and food and politics and sports and entertainment and a whole bunch of stuff. But wait, Mike's coming. I gotta go. Remember, Shannon and Mike in the AM on SHR Media, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. Make sure you tune in.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad.
Join me, Jack Alexander, for the Jack Alexander Experiment podcast, as I take a unique outsider's look at the issues affecting the USA. I fearlessly take on the issues that everyone else is too scared to touch. The Jack Alexander Experiment podcast is available wherever good podcasts can be found, like Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcast. The Jack Alexander Experiment, because it's not a matter of left versus right, it's a matter of right versus wrong.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
Featuring the effervescent Contrarian Sackheads CLINT plus the unrestrained bulbosity of BZ, the Sackheads Against Tyranny is a real chat show. Doubling your late-night conservative talk show pleasure with double the hosts, you can listen every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Please note, some contents may have settled during shipping. Member FDIC, batteries not included, warranty void in Montenegro.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And we're back. The final 25 minutes of the Sackheads Against Tyranny show, a real chat show just for you. Programming note, Leo Dunson, a black Republican candidate who is running for Nevada's 4th Congressional District, will be on the show tomorrow night, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific. And in the second hour, I'm going to have Kate Kruzinski and Kaiser Schuff on, who are going to be talking about the Second Amendment, a little bit of survival, a little bit of Virginia, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of impeachment, and what it means for a lot of people. Here's what I was promising. This is Jay Sekulow. I played this last night, but it's a minute and a half of really important, salient points by one of Trump's attorneys, Jay Sekulow, who I just like the hell out of anyway.
It's also my privilege to represent the President of the United States before this chamber. Senator Schumer said earlier today that the eyes of the founders are on these proceedings. Indeed, that's true. But it is the heart of the Constitution that governs these proceedings. And what we just heard from Manager Schiff, courts have no role, privileges don't apply. What happened in the past, we should just ignore. In fact, Manager Schiff just said, try to summarize my colleague's defense of the president. He said it not in those words, of course, which is not the first time Mr. Schiff has put words into transcripts that did not exist.
Imagine that.
Mr. Schiff also talked about a trifecta. I'll give you a trifecta. During the proceedings that took place before the Judiciary Committee, the president was denied the right to cross-examine witnesses.
1.
The president was denied the right to access evidence.
2.
And the president was denied the right to have counsel present at hearings.
3.
That's a trifecta. A trifecta that violates the Constitution of the United States. Mr. Schiff did say the courts really...
There it is. Summed up perfectly, I would wager. The perfect trifecta. So, you wanted to talk impeachment. I tweeted this out, and I'm not going to use the words I used in the tweet. I'm going to make it nicer. But I'm done with watching the hearings. Physically, numerically, here's what it takes. To convict Trump of impeachment, it takes 2/3 of the Senate. Numerically, that is 67 senators.
Yes.
If 67 senators, no matter what is said during this bulk of time, agree, then Trump is not impeached. And Trump moves on down the road as if this didn't occur because...
No, if 66 senators...
Okay. If 66 senators, yes. Okay. Good point.
Think he did it. You could have 66 senators say, yes, he should be impeached.
Yeah. And then one away.
Nothing happens.
No. If a doctor passes doctor school with a score of 78, at the end of the school, what do they call him? Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
If a president is impeached and in the Senate they only get 66 votes to impeach, what do they still call him?
President.
You know, the funny thing is, Trump could get impeached, removed, and then win re-election.
Okay, that brings up another interesting point. All right, I see how you're doing that. I do see how you're doing that. There's an analytics company called GeoQuant, which has positively predicted presidential elections before, but it does it based mostly on the economy. I mentioned this last night. It said economic conditions now are actually better and more favorable for Trump than they were in 2016.
Of course they are.
Than they were in 2018. Therefore, GeoQuant says in November, Trump will be a two-term president. So the standard BZ if-then equation, if Trump is reelected, and I do believe he will be reelected, as I said at the beginning of the show, I think he's going to take the electoral. It will be a little closer, I think. And I also believe that he will take the popular this time, because in the meantime, a couple of other things have been occurring on various voter rolls all across the country. There's been a concerted effort to attempt to remove bad or wrong people from voter rolls. It started down Southern California in Los Angeles County. Now it's gone through Virginia. It's gone through a whole bunch of other states. Well, that's a few that will not be electing people. And I said also back in 2016, I think that Hillary Clinton got the popular vote because at least 2 million illegals did get onto voter rolls and voted for her. Hell,
probably most of them in California.
I was just going to say, you could have 2 million illegals in California alone, one state, make the difference in the popular vote, discounting 49 other states.
Yep.
So I think the popular vote will actually go to Trump as well. If that happens, then what occurs November 4th? What kind? Let me be blunt. Do we see a replay of 2016 where people take to the streets and burn shit again?
Absolutely.
On November 4th?
100%, yes. And then again on Election Day. And then again on Inauguration Day.
Okay, well, yeah.
100%.
And if so, will it be worse?
I don't know if it'll be worse because I think people will be less tolerant. I think people will be less tolerant of that crap.
Of that stuff?
Yeah, I think it'll be the same people that always like to go out and burn shit, but I don't think it'll be... I don't know if it'll be worse. I don't think there'll be as many going out and burning shit, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But the people that do are going to lose their minds.
So basically we'll just see people beating their breasts and wailing to the sky like that one chick did in Glasses years ago.
Oh, I don't know. They might actually, there may be small splinter groups that get violent. There may be, but I don't think it'll be as many in number. But the violence may be worse, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Then let me ask you this. Let's say, and I believe this is the way things will work, we know that the prosecution gets 24 hours. So whether that's 3 8-hour days, whatever, I don't care. The defense gets 24 hours in whatever time period they want.
I'd make them sit for one 24-hour session. Fuck them all. I would.
And let's say in the wildest scheme of things, maybe it's a little close, but it isn't. It's not going to be. And impeachment is out the window.
They impeach him again.
Get out of my head. Because you just said what my next question was going to be. Then January 20th, 2021.
The House will be Republican.
Then what happens?
The House will be Republican.
Do the rest of the people have enough power? And that's the other thing. Yes, I believe. Will they stop pushing? No.
I think the House will be Republican.
But I think
between November 4th, I think you're going to have impeachment proceedings from November 4th to Inauguration Day.
So you think they're going to try to have
negate
another
election
impeachment?
Again. Why wouldn't they? What do they have to lose at that point? They're 2 years. They're 2 years away from another election. What do they have to lose, other than try to fuck with them one more time on the way out?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm with you though. I believe that we will keep the Senate. We will get the House. Mm-hmm. The margins may be thin, but numerically speaking,
I think the Republicans will expand in the Senate.
Okay.
I think they will. I think they will take the House. I don't know. I think it'll be a thin margin, but I think
it'll be a squeaker.
I think they'll take the House.
So you think we'll add a few more senators?
I believe so.
Okay. All righty.
Yep.
And I am convinced we're going to keep the Oval.
Well, it depends. It depends how some of these people vote. If these Democratic senators that are up for re-election in districts like that Trump won by double digits in some cases, I think they're hosed. Yeah, it's a wrap. Okay. They may keep their job if they don't, and they come across fair-minded. Maybe they keep their job. Unless some bombshell look, this is all with the caveat, unless some bombshell happens. Right? If a bombshell happens where it's clear that Donald Trump broke the law, I don't think it exists. That may be a different story, right? But I don't even think the Senate vote will break on party lines. I think you're going to have some Democrats.
We're going to see some defectors.
I think
along the way.
think you'll see some Democrats. I think you're right. Defect.
I think you are right on that one.
You may see a Republican or two defect. Mitt Romney.
Okay, I asked this last night. I'll ask you now. Who do you think is the...
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Audience for the impeachment.
The American people.
Okay, but the American people. Maybe I should restate this. Politically speaking, who do you think the audience is for the impeachment proceedings?
Same. I think it's 100% politics for the American people just to say that Trump got impeached and went through a trial, and just to try and throw more dirt at the Republicans. 100%, that's all this is about, because I think the Democrats have absolutely nothing. They don't have the economy. They don't have the military. No. They don't have jobs. They don't have wages. They have nothing. They don't have the minority vote. They don't have the minority economic situation. They have absolutely zero to run on. So the only thing they can resort to is impeaching and trying to muddy the waters.
Corruption.
Literally, that's 100% all this is about.
Well, if you're an attorney and you're a defense attorney,
if the law's on your side, and argue the law.
What do you have? Yeah.
If the facts are on your side, argue the facts. If you don't have facts or the law, argue like hell.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Ad hominem attacks and pull anything that you can out of your waistband.
Yep.
No matter the caliber of the bullets, etc.
Yep.
So I submitted that, yeah, you could say the impeachment is for the people, but I don't think the people really give a crap what's happening. I'm not listening anymore, and I go on social media all the time because I'm a social media animal. And most of the people that I listen to, and I purposely listen to people on the left, have said something similar to, I'm not even listening to this stuff anymore. So I asked last night, and I will ask you now, Contrarian CLINT, is this whole shebang for three people? Are they playing this in hopes of pulling the loyalty of Mitt Romney and Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins?
I think Mitt Romney would defect before Murkowski or Collins.
You think he's much more craven than any of the other two?
I do, yeah. That my order, I believe, would be Romney, Murkowski, Collins. That would be my order of defection if the Republicans were going to defect. If any Republicans were going to defect, that would be my three. In that order, but I don't see it.
This is interesting in chat now. Jack Alexander says Romney's been getting a lot of heat in Utah for not supporting the president, and he also said he heard one Utah talk host say that Romney would face a recall petition if he sides for impeachment,
as he should.
Then that's interesting. Could Romney put his political finger in the blowing breezes and screw it up completely and not suss out what the temper of the times are in Utah? Or would he take a stand, quote unquote, just to be, like you, a contrarian and lose? Would he do that?
I don't think he'd give a shit. I think that if
he's got all the cash he needs.
Yeah. I think if he's recalled, or if he loses the next election, he takes the Republican spot, the seat flips blue because people will be pissed, and I think that's kind of a final FU to Trump. So his seat would flip blue out of Utah.
Yeah.
And he goes to Arizona and runs for McCain's seat.
Becomes
a senator as a Republican.
He becomes another Jeff Flake or another John McCain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
I could
have sworn I saw
like
Jeff Flake pumping gas down at 4th and T downtown earlier today. I may be wrong.
I honestly, I could see Romney doing it just as a big middle finger, and then run for re-election, taking the Republicans. Unless I could see a Republican challenger, which would, then you have two Republicans beating each other up, and potentially that seat flipping blue because of Romney. And the irony is, Trump got Romney elected, and Romney still gave him a huge middle finger.
Okay, so the bottom line for you is kind of, no matter what happens, impeachment, you say thumbs down.
I say thumbs down.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. Well, he's been impeached. I don't think he's getting convicted. Of what? What's he getting convicted of? We already talked about this. Obstruction of Congress? You're a separate but equal branch of government. If the president sends you a letter saying, I want all documents out of your committee, are you going to give him the big middle finger? And then is the Justice Department going to go after you for obstruction of justice? Because they actually do have the Justice Department.
Here's something that we discussed before in depth, probably 4 weeks ago. And we said, okay, don't people know how Congress works, how government works?
No.
If
they don't.
If they can allege that Trump is obstructing Congress, cannot Trump say that Congress is obstructing him?
Yeah. What if the courts overrule as unconstitutional a law made by Congress, vetoed by the president, overridden in Congress, Therefore, they see how I took the executive out of it.
Right.
And the courts throw it out. Did they obstruct Congress?
And yet, my point to that is, or maybe I'll just ask you, do you find it disconcerting that argument has, I have not heard one person in D.C. make that argument?
I think they're making the argument by stating executive privilege. I think that's kind of the
they're
way. They're
using that phrase?
I believe that's the phrase
because I think
using.
A lot of people could understand the argument if you made it just how we made it.
BZ, how many people in this country, and maybe it's just because I'm in California, but how many people in this country know how our government is supposed to work? Like, really understand how our government is supposed to work?
7%?
10?
No, I mean
or people.
Yeah, people.
Look, my niece's high school AP, so college level advanced placement, AP U.S. history textbook was Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Yes, you should.
Because that's not funny. Because Howard Zinn is one of the biggest leftists of all time.
Yes. But this is what people are getting spoon-fed. They don't learn about how our system of government is supposed to function. That's not what they're learning in schools anymore. They don't teach that. There's a case coming up before the Supreme Court for school choice, and it was through the school voucher program, and you can.
I heard something about that. But you mean you mean SCOTUS, right?
Yes, the U.S. Supreme Court. And the crux of the case is some of the private and charter schools were religious in nature, or had religious origins to them.
Right.
So this law passed that, hey, you can get a voucher, and you can use this voucher to get your kid into any of these other schools, because as a parent, you have a choice to and the ability to try and get your child a better education. Well, this one mother was unable to get her kid use the voucher into this school because it was a Christian-based school. And she wanted her kid to have a good, healthy upbringing in terms of morality and all these other things to get in school, which, by the way, the Northwest Ordinance actually talked about the importance of religion and education together, and it's one of our organic documents. I digress.
Yeah. Don't go there.
So the state said, no, you can't use it for that. One of the courts in the state then said, okay, then you can't use the voucher program at all. And it's now gone before SCOTUS, and so the leftist on like Elena Kagan was making the argument, well, if the vouchers can't be used for anybody, then the law is being applied equally. And Justice Alito said, well, no. Just because the law is being applied equally, the reason for the ruling itself is unconstitutional, because the reasoning for the ruling was that we couldn't use these funds for a faith-based schools. So even though it's not applied for anybody, we have to look at the reasoning of the ruling. So even though the effect of the ruling may be legitimate, the ruling itself may be erroneous and flawed and unconstitutional. So that's kind of how both of these arguments are playing out.
My understanding was that the sparks were flying there for a little bit too during arguments.
I believe it was, and this is going to be an interesting case. Don't know where I was going with that or why that came out,
but there it is.
And I don't. Oh, we were talking about SCOTUS or
yeah.
Oh, what people are learning in schools,
right?
So you're not getting. Look, schools are. First of all, I think schools are a federal issue, and I think schools are a federal issue. And I am not a big federal government thing. I think
really now this is interesting.
I do, and what gives us the ability to have the federal government involved in schools? I don't think controlled, but they should be involved and should be able to make some of the guidelines for
standards.
Yes, the Northwest Ordinance specifically talks about.
You are contrarian me again.
Okay, so the Northwest Ordinance, we know that is one of the organic documents of the United States, right?
It had its own passage.
We have the Declaration of Independence,
right.
The Articles of Confederation, the United States Constitution, and we have the Northwest Ordinance. Those are the organic documents of the United States for which our government is founded and built upon. That's it. And that's not me that said that. That's the Congress that said that. Interesting thing, if you try and find that verbiage in the Congress, in the National Archives, you actually have to go, and some of the pages aren't. I think I showed you this a long time ago.
Oh, yes,
some
you
of the pages
did.
aren't even numbered,
Yeah.
so you can't do a numbered page search.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Northwest Ordinance talks specifically.
You talked about that on Sackheads,
I did.
The original Sackheads radio show.
The Northwest Ordinance specifically talks about how religion and morality, those words being used very specific, being imperative, essentially, to our republic. Public education shall forever be encouraged by Congress. That in and of itself gives Congress the authority and makes education a federal issue, because the education of our students, the morality of the next generation coming up, is imperative to the survival of our republic. That is 100% a federal issue.
Okay.
The Northwest Ordinance,
I see the argument you're making.
The Northwest Ordinance gives the authority to the Congress and the federal government in order to ensure that is taking place. And as such, I believe the federal government would be able to enact laws such as you can't outlaw charter schools. School choice is an absolute I don't want to say right, because government doesn't give rights, but is an absolute ability for parents to be able to do. I believe those types of laws can and are appropriately made at the federal level.
Are we going to be here next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
Fuck
I guess
yeah.
that's
absolutely yeah.
Do you think we'll have something to discuss next
No.
week?
No, nothing's going to happen.
You think anything will happen between now?
No, there's nothing going on right now.
Okay. All right. So we can talk about, I don't know, crossword puzzles
Ooh,
or something like
President Trump is set to be the first president ever to speak at the March for Life.
Ooh.
I wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, very nice.
There you go. See, breaking
By the
news.
way, Bill Hemmer in Shepard Smith's new spot on Fox is already getting twice the ratings that Shepard Smith was.
I didn't know. Shepard Smith got the can?
Oh, he stepped out. He got into a tiff with Tucker Carlson. Fox took Carlson's position, basically, and Shepard Smith took all his toys and went away.
Good. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And so Bill Hemmer just walked into his new position, and he's making more ratings. Bye-bye,
That's
Shep.
awesome. Bye-bye, Shep.
Okay, we'll see you next week, folks. God bless. Take care. Be safe. Tomorrow night, BZ right here. Aloha.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com. Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.